I need to do a catch-up video about this whole Spanish land project because a lot of people are still confused by it. They need it explaining in infinite detail, which I kind of understand. It's difficult to get your head around. If you're just a business who does business with another company, normally there is a tender process, there is a quote process, there's a pre-order process, there's, you know, getting the purchase order number, you do the job, you pay the bill. You get what you want, the client gets what they want, they video asset normally for us, and that's the end of the transaction. Ever since I got made redundant, lost my job 2 or 3 years ago, I've been trying to build a business, a studio on a ethical core to the business, being reasonable and transparent about the business, about running a sustainable business. How does that work? What does it look like? So one of the things for 2013 that I wanted to do was to create a donation-based project that anybody I worked with as a client, so the idea is that Seller 54 is a social enterprise that works for clients to make web video. Video that they can use for their business to promote their events, services, etc. products. Instead of it just being a one-to-one business-to-business transaction, I wanted it to be a P2P, a person-to-person transaction. And the way to do that was I wanted people to be involved with my project. The reason why I work and earn money is to build projects that I can leave behind, that I'm investing my time and a client's money in something of value to me and hopefully to whoever gets involved with it. It was really difficult this morning, but our first client of 2013 wants some video making, and I give him the option of either pay in a normal fashion or be part of this donationware, and it's really difficult to explain, so I'm going to really try and explain it better. There's various sites on the web, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, variety of different sites where you set a time limit, you put in some pledges, and people pledge to your project. The problem with that is it's time period based, and there's not really any pledges that I can offer back immediately that jump to mind. So I wanted a site where I could just get people to donate and there was no time limit and people could see that it was towards something. So gofundme.com/digitalbunker, GoFundMe, the easiest way to raise money online, doesn't have any time limits, it doesn't have any perks as such, but it does have the ability to take donations, and there's a wish list in there, and you can update it and update people about it. So your social networks, your email list, etc. In terms of how you run a sustainable studio, is how can we take the money that you earn as a social enterprise and put it into projects and be transparent about the money that you earn, instead of just being a company that's driven by acquiring wealth and profit. How do we translate that into the clients that you work with being part of a positive project? For the longest time, I've been wanting to build a living arc, a sustainable home, some kind of place, stable, secure place that I can leave my daughter basically when I'm gone, when I'm dead. And I want to leave that in a will. And for the last 3 years, it's consumed me. That's the only thing that's kept me sort of going forward, is that I really want to build a home that in my head I know that she will have somewhere stable to go. Obviously she lives with her mum right now, but I like the idea of leaving something that, as an alternative, as an escape, as a retreat, she can go to this place. And originally I wanted to do it in the National Forest, but the amount of red tape to do with planning permission and, you know, integrating into a local community, it doesn't make it possible in the time frame that I've got. She's 6 in May 2013. She's going to be 6, and so the time is now to really get her to understand environmental issues, sustainability issues, you know, where her food comes from, how power is generated, and to sort of teach her some fundamentals about that stuff that she can grow up with, at least knowing about those things, so she's got a choice. So one of those things is that I would like occasionally, once a month or once every few months, to go to some land, to this place, to build out this place. And I got into a conversation with Marsha from Secret Kitchen, and she knows some people who've already made the jump, gone to Spain, been there 5 years, living off the land, creating their own products, doing various projects at the local towns in one of the poorest parts of Spain. and they mentioned that there was a piece of land for sale with planning permission on the land ready to go. Now, that instantly appealed to me because it's really cheap to fly there from East Midlands Airport. It's only a short drive to get to the land, and the idea of being able to physically buy a shipping container off eBay, drop it on the land and work on it, like literally work on it and film that and talk about that, use it as content to feed back into the studio here and advocacies and make a show about green tech technologies and sustainability for my daughter, and other fathers looking in can look at that, really appeals to me. So it's been quite a hard sell in terms of trying to get businesses to understand their involvement in if they donate to this project rather than pay for a job. So what I've done is I've gone about it a few ways. One, I've said if you go via the donation way, then you pay less on your bill, which obviously appeals because people always want it a little bit cheaper than the usual price, discounted price. And the other thing is that they become part of the project. So their money that they spent, their hard-earned business money that they spent on a product or service that we provide them with, they also get the benefit that their money has gone towards a project which helps, you know, me feel good about my life, my career, my business, and at the same time be concerned about my daughter's future. And what was interesting is, you know, is there anything that we need to do? And there isn't anything that people who get involved need to do. It's just that I would rather you pay for my services, but I would only go and take that money anyway and put it into this project. By doing it this way, you are part of the project, you helped fund part of the project, and you get to follow along with the project. So that really appeals. I'm noticing that I've come up to about 7 minutes, so I'm going to be a little bit quicker. Kind of what I wanted to talk about really was the idea that business for me is not about the acquisition of money and growth from just pure profit and you know, my business should succeed where other businesses fail. I like the idea of why can't we build globalized sustainable businesses built on a transparency that involves the clients that you work with, so that they can see that you're working towards something. They might give you additional work because they want you to make it. Also, I think it opens up the doors of how much money do you need to earn. You know, I'd see this piece of land not just as something that we can live on. This piece of land is like a hectare in size. So I'm thinking of all kinds of things: food projects, outdoor spaces for retreats, for designers and creatives and bloggers to get away for a week or 2 weeks a year, with a whole bunch of shipping containers that they can live in, and almost like a co-housing unit in the middle of you know, a space which is run down and a poor part of a country. And if you can regenerate from that kind of transparent co-working, then you could pretty much, you know, you could change a lot of things. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on now. I'm going to go for lunch. But I just wanted to shout that out there. It's gofundme.com/thedigitalbunker. If you want to work with Seller54.tv this year, we're looking for clients who need web video, who need audio podcasting, who need a web series as part of their marketing campaign for the 2013 for social media advice. I've been doing it 6 or 7 years. I'm an advocate for a company based in the States. Come and get involved. Come and check out studio. Looking for bloggers, looking for creatives in and around Nottingham who are interested in working for themselves, creating their own revenue streams, creating their own personal brand online. If you're a student and you're at college, university, should I say, for the first year, and you're here for 3 years in Nottingham, and you've already got a website, or you're thinking of doing a website, get in touch. We'd love to have you on board as an advocate of Nottingham Creative Advocates, which is a separate advocacy. It's kind of a project to encourage local bloggers and advocates who live in a city to understand the power that they have within that area to create influence and change. I don't want to own it. I don't want it to be an ownable thing, and it shouldn't be just all centered around money. It's about, you know, connecting those creative people who think creatively about their lives and have a talent and a skill, and amplifying those people in a group to a bigger group. So if you're interested in Nottingham Creative Advocates, do get in touch. Seller54.tv, at Phil Campbell on Twitter. Shoot me an email at dmouse@gmail.com. And yeah, go and check out the Digital Bunker. Done.